From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check of 2021. In this recording, we go over the breaking news that's happening about that fourth stimulus check. That biggest stimulus check you've ever seen in the history of this channel, a monthly check starting the month of July. Why is a major set of developing details yesterday and today changing the amount and the calculation of the fourth stimulus check and focusing it more back on the Senate plan? I have all the big details in this House versus Senate analysis of your fourth stimulus check. A stimulus check that starts in the month of July and goes all the way to December. Then, while we've been talking about this stimulus that will be raising your benefits across the board if you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits, guess what? A major new report says that it could also be raised upwards of 20%. Additional, I have all the incredible great news in a huge afternoon's recording. And then with less than 1 day away, we have a big deadline upon us to get money right now. And it's the biggest payout you've ever seen in this channel. If you have 3 or 4 kids under the age of 5, this is a big day. And guess what? Money for rent, money for utilities, and more. All this exciting news starts right there, right now, starting here on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LA with breaking news about your fourth stimulus check of 2021 update. In this recording, we go over that fourth stimulus check update, that monthly stimulus check that starts in the month of July and continues month after month thereafter. And we compare the House versus Senate plan in view of the breaking details forming today and minutes ago. Wow, a lot of breaking news impacting your fourth stimulus check in this recording. Then at the second half of the recording, we go over the SSI reform that will raise your benefits under the fifth stimulus package. But guess what? A new report suggests it could be added additional 20% on top of that. It's just happening. It's great news, and you're going to be very excited. And then in the middle of the recording, we go over the big money landing right now, this weekend, this week, and next week, but also the deadline that you'll need to follow to ensure you get thousands of dollars. I have all these great details, and this is LALATE, the only 24 hours a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoon, with coverage from Wall Street to Main Street and everything you need to know from stimulus to crypto. So like this video. Also, subscribe. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. Let's get to the breaking details, starting right now. The fourth stimulus check update of 2021 got a major twist. Not 1, but 3 in the last 24 hours. And you're going to see all the details of them. But first, let's understand what is the fourth stimulus check update of 2021. It is a stimulus package where a check comes during a duration starting the month of July. And if you're looking at the House plan versus the Senate plan, there's a comparison and a contrast. So the House plan would provide a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate plan would provide stimulus checks from July to December. If you're on the live chat just after 3 o'clock on the West Coast, 6 o'clock on the East Coast, get ready to vote House versus Senate, but also get ready to say, changed my mind or not, because you may change your mind based upon the new data coming out in the breaking news. When we look at the monthly stimulus check, the House provides less per month, $1,000 a month compared to $2,000 the first month, and the Senate plan provides an amount unknown, but word on the street is the Senate amount will be this. Wow. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Or $14 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Now, why is there a major breaking news that's impacting this calculation? Let's circle back and understand why the breaking news impacts this across the board. Yesterday, the CDC announced that it's lifting the mask mandate, meaning that you do not have to wear a mask indoors or outdoors if you're vaccinated. In California, the mask mandate is gone completely in the June 15th. And in Las Vegas, Hotels like Wynn announced today that there will be no masks for customers and guests if they're vaccinated. So suddenly the question is, how many months are left for the pandemic when we're looking at the house plan? We had originally said 4 months, let's say, for example, for the remainder of the pandemic, plus 1 year, that's 16 months of stimulus checks. But if there's only 1 month left to the pandemic, that would mean 13 months of stimulus checks, which would amount to $14,000 over 13 months for the house plan, which would take you 13 months to get $14,000, or 6 months only to get upwards of $12,000 for the Senate plan. So now vote. Senate versus House, Senate versus House. And have you changed your opinion? Changed my mind? Yeah, you may have changed your mind based upon that CDC recommendation. Are we coming out of the pandemic? Suddenly the Senate plan may look more attractive. All right, that's one of the breaking news. I have more breaking news about fourth stimulus in just a second, but let's go over who gets it. You do. If you got the third stimulus check, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you're on SSI or SSDI, Social Security or railroad benefits or veterans benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. And a household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just quadruple it. Children, adult dependents, everyone, the fourth stimulus check would be the same amount. Easy breezy. Taken out for child support? We don't know just yet. Is it income? Nope, it ain't income. Is it taxable? Nope, not at all. Now, remember, I'm a reporter. I'm not a legislator, so I'm not writing the bill. I'm reporting what they're representing. And what they're representing is that the vote will happen no later than July 4th, which means the first stimulus check would land in the month of July for the month of July, then in August for the month of August. There's no waves of stimulus checks when we talk about the fourth stimulus package because there's no time to do waves of stimulus checks. That's your fourth stimulus check updated 2021, but guess what? I got 2 other major breaking details just today and yesterday about something that impacts your fourth stimulus. You're going to be shocked. It's major breaking news. It's coming up later in this recording. Also coming up in the second half of this recording. It's a jam-packed 30-minute recording. So stay to the end because I got thousands of dollars throughout this recording. In the second half of the recording is SSI and SSDI reform, fifth stimulus. Here's a preview. Fifth stimulus this fall starts in September. Ends in November. It's like fourth stimulus. It's a 2-bill, 2-step, 2-month process. And they're going to add in SSI and SSDI reform, which will raise your benefits up to a big new number. But a major new report this morning talks about that there could potentially be a 20% increase on top of that. OMG. I'm really excited to give you this great news. It's in the second half of this recording, so stay with me. All right, now let me go over the big money that's available for you now and the money that's arriving in your mailbox today and next week and the money you need to do something. And that deadline to do something is Monday. All right, let's first go over the incredible great news. When third stimulus passed, I told you that no matter how you are, what type of viewer you are, 75 to 85% of all viewers of this channel will be eligible for $5, $10, $15, $20,000 additional after that $1,400 third stimulus check. Well, now that money has landed. Let's go get it. I created the term purple hawk in January to refer to when money lands, that you have as a hawk, get the money before anyone else because there'll be a stimulus stampede. And that stampede to get the money is first come, first serve. Well, guess what's being served up first? It's money for rent. $5,000 approximately money for rent is now available in your city, county, and city, landing last week, this week, and more will come next week. How do you get it? I hope you have a pen and paper ready. I got a lot of money for you in this recording. So you're going to reach out to City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority, and ask for rent assistance because of COVID or the American Recovery Act. You do not mention the word stimulus. You're looking for that rent, and 4 to 6 months of rent, they generally give about $5,000. Incredible great news. Then more money for utilities, also homeowners assistance, utilities, and mortgage assistance. Next, there's money available for SNAP, and it's absolutely so much money. A family of 4 in Hawaii now gets upwards of $16,000 over a year. You need to get it. It's money for food. How do you get it? Reach out to Department of Agriculture. Department of Agriculture, 211. Call them up on the phone and ask them to get on SNAP. And a family of four out of Hawaii now getting upwards of $16,000 a year because of a Trump executive order which raised their benefits 6 months for 15%, and a Biden executive order which raised it an additional 6 months for 15%. Incredible, great news. And look, we're only 10 minutes into this video, and I've gotten you $5,000 of rent, upwards of $16,000 in Hawaii for SNAP, and I'm not done. Let's get to the first major big love moment or tough love moment, and it's regarding what I just went over. When forced stimulus unveils itself in the next few days because of two-month, two-step process, and they're currently working on the subcommittees, you're not going to see money in there for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners assistance, eviction moratorium, or mortgage forbearance. That was in third stimulus, and it's its last ride at the rodeo. So my tough love moment is, if you need to get this money, get it right now, because it won't be coming around anymore. Moreover, the eviction moratorium and the mortgage forbearance are going away in September. All right, now let's deserve a wonderful donut moment, because you need it after that one. So here's a donut moment. Thousands of dollars are landing people's bank accounts starting this week and next week as well. Where's it coming from? Your state. How much? What's at issue? Let's go over the details. During the pandemic, some states sent viewers extra thousands of dollars by mistake because of a computer error at the state unemployment offices. Viewers are asked to return that money, and guess what? The Department of Labor has stepped in and said, if you had received an excess payment from your state's unemployment office to no fault of your own because of the state computer systems going screwy, then you were ordered to return the money. Guess what? The Department of Labor said that was a mistake. You should not have been ordered to return the money, and has ordered the states to return the money to you. Wow. So watch your direct deposit for those returns from your states, $1,000 in the next few days. Which brings us to the next donut moment. Oh, we love these donut moments where money comes automatically to you. You don't have to do anything about it. If you filed a tax return to the IRS and pay taxes on your first $10,200, you are getting a refund back from IRS today, yesterday, tomorrow, and a little bit of you next week if you're a single tax filer. If you're a joint filer, like husband and wife, it's coming at the end of the month. Where and when is it coming? Let's go over the details. It's coming in the mailbox in either a beige or white envelope with a beige check in there from Treasury or IRS with the title return or refund. What's at issue? Here's an example. If you've had $9,000 of unemployment assistance, paid $5,000 on that $9,000 $5,000 on your total tax bill to the IRS, of which $4,000 of it was for taxes on that unemployment benefits, then you are getting $4,000 back from IRS. It's incredible great news. They are returning back the money you paid on your taxes to the federal government for just the unemployment section. Incredible great news. Which brings us then to the married couples. Your money is coming automatically back in phase 2, which is later this month. And with that, let's now start a series of tough love moments. Tough love moment number 1, which is, if you took out for federal taxes while receiving your unemployment benefits in 2020, guess what? You have to file a tax return by Monday, by the end of Monday, to request that money back from the IRS. Here's what's going on. Let's say you received $100. Let's say you took out $100 a week from your unemployment benefits to pay for IRS. And you did that for 10 weeks. That's $1,000. Guess what? The only way to recover that money back from IRS is to file a tax return, and the tax return is due Monday. Throughout the series of this video, you're going to hear me talk about this Monday deadline. Your personal tax return is due on Monday. And now that brings me to great news about parents and kids. If you have a child 5 to newborn, $3,600 is coming to you, $300 a month starting the month of July. And if the child is 17 to 6, $3,000 paid $250 a month starting the month of July. If two things have happened. 1, you make less than $75,000, and 2, that child is with you and IRS knows the child's with you. Now, that triggers 3 major tough love moments. Number 1, you're a mom with a 5, 4, and 3-year-old, and you never file tax returns. You categorically have to file a tax return on Monday if the IRS does not know those children are with you. Here's what's at issue. If you never file tax returns and you believe that IRS does not know those children are with you, you absolutely need to file a tax return on Monday. Why? Because you're looking at $10,000 approximately being paid to you starting the month of July. And if you do not file that tax return by the end of Monday and IRS does not know those children are with you, you are getting 100% categorically triple underline 3 exclamation points 0 in the month of July. Why would you risk $10,000 versus 0? Tough love moment number 2 is if you are a parent and you file tax returns every year, but you never listed that child because maybe the child wasn't born until just a few months ago in late 2020, or the child was on someone else's tax return in 2019. Guess what? You have to file that tax return by the end of Monday to list that child as with you. And the third scenario is if you made too much money in 2019 and listed that child on the tax return, but in 2020 you took a dive and certainly made a certain amount of money that makes you eligible for the children's check, you need to file that 2020 tax return immediately. Here's the issue. IRS goes off the most recent tax return. If the most recent tax return is 2019 and it shows you making too much money to get the money for children, you won't get the check in July based upon the 2020 return, which you haven't filed. If you didn't make a lot of money last year, you did make a lot of money, you're eligible for the money, you have to show that to IRS by filing that 2020 tax return by the end of Monday. Which brings us to a major tough love moment, and you know what I'm about to say. A missing stimulus check, a missing first, second, or third stimulus check, or a member household's missing stimulus check. You must file that tax return by the end of Monday. Which brings me to a major tough love moment, and I want to look right at the camera and make sure you got it very clearly. If you are an individual who never has to file tax returns because you don't make enough money, I got it. That's not the situation. And if you're an individual who's on SSI and SSDI, you never file tax returns because you don't have to, I got it. That's not the situation. This situation is where IRS categorically 100% triple underline has said that if you have to fix these situations, you must file a tax return. You cannot call up IRS and chat with them. You cannot tweet them. You cannot go to their Facebook page. You cannot hashtag them. That doesn't work. The only way to do it is to file a tax return. And the tax return is due by the end of Monday. And if you don't file the tax return, you're categorically not going to get paid. That is why this is a major tough love moment. The great news is you're watching me now and understand it. Moreover, every day there's 1 to 2 people that jumps into the chat or the comments and says, anyone else missing their third stimulus check? I keep on wondering where it is. You shouldn't be wondering where it is. You should be going immediately to the tax preparer because you're not going to get it. IRS has made very clear. If you're missing a third stimulus check, go immediately to the tax preparer and get that tax return on file and request it. And I've had one viewer that did that, got all 3 stimulus checks that were all missing. I had another viewer who followed my advice and got $2,000 back from IRS about their unemployment benefits. You got to do it. And guess what? I got big exciting news about 4 stimulus, those monthly stimulus checks, and that potential 20% increase of your SSI. It's coming up at the commercial break. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. The community page features a series of volunteers that can help you with rent, utilities, homeowners assistance, and more. They cannot help you do anything with your taxes. They don't do anything for taxes or anything for unemployment. But reach out to them for those other items. They are in the pinned comment and in the description to this video at news.la.com/community. That link shows you a page with a series of cute cats on the top of the page. Reach out to them, and I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. home. LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE with incredible big news about your fourth stimulus check and fifth stimulus check. I'm really excited for you. In this recording, the second half, we're going to go over the breaking news that impacts your fourth stimulus check. And what else is this other bill at issue? Oh boy, it's very exciting. And then we cut to fifth stimulus, the incredible great news and why there's a potential 20% increase across the board on top of the other increase. Wow, we are doing great. Make sure you subscribe. This is LALATE, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's literally programming now 24 hours a day on this channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoon, and overnight shows as well. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE in 2 hours from now, so don't miss that. Also, like this video. Let's try to do 3,000 likes. Help this video go to number one in the rankings. And consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. All right, let's get to fourth stimulus. A major series of breaking news today that impacts fourth stimulus. Very fascinating. Remember, it's a two-bill, two-step, two-month process that involves Democrats with Democrats. Well, their allegiance will be helped, we now learn, because at the same time they're doing this, they got to do something else. It's called raising the debt ceiling limit, and its deadline is July 31st. There's new indications now that the Democratic leadership has said, we're not going to do that with Republicans because they don't even want to touch the debt ceiling. They want to keep it the same or lower it, and the Democrats want to raise the debt ceiling. So they're going to do that one likely without any Republican support. It's great news for purposes of fourth stimulus because this is a two-bill, two-month, two-step process and ultimately doing two things that are non-bipartisan at the same time help one another. Also really exciting great news about fourth stimulus is that the president over the last 7 days, 5 times at least, came out and said, just go do it. Speaking to the Democratic leaders, telling them to do the reconciliation, which they have already started. It's already in subcommittees. And finally, 3 magic words, which he said. Corporate tax rate. The president made a deal. It's incredible great news where the Democrats that may have had cold feet about the fourth stimulus package didn't like the corporate tax rate the president was proposing. It's currently 21%. He was proposing 28, 29%. They said, how about 25%? He said, deal. It's incredible great news. With the only thing at hand is the month of July, and away we go. Let's go to fifth stimulus this fall. They'll have that incredible SSI and SSDI reform. But why? There was major breaking news today, which impacts your benefits. So this reform would increase your benefit limits, then remove the asset cap, and then do a new asset limit at inflationary benchmark. That's the big news. Then remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. All right, let's go over the details and what's going on with this breaking development about 20%. And I will slow it down when I get to that point because I know it needs a little bit of calculation and clarity for you. So as I explained in recent days, the fifth stimulus package is a two-bill, two-month, two-step process that will involve raising your benefits up to a new number. Who's you? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, you will be raised up to that new number. Then they'll tie your benefits to inflation. It's at this point I want to slow it down. Which inflation? Oh boy. Over the last 3 days, we have always talked about inflationary rate this year being 2.5, 3, maybe 4%. Whether it's Yellen or Jerome Powell or myself or the president, everyone's always talked about 2 to 4% inflation. What does that mean for your benefits? It means that first they raise your benefits up to a new number, and that every year in December they assess your benefits based upon the current inflationary rate, and they may step it up. They never step it down. So the most you can have is the same. The worst case scenario is you're the same as the year before. But the only other case scenario is that they step it up. Once they step it up, they never step it back down. That's not how a benchmark works. Well, so we all understand they would raise you up, and then if inflation was 4%, then you would raise you up 4% as well for that particular year. You also know that next year, you would still be at that new rate with that step up of 4% from the prior year. You would never step down. Well, then came this. Jeremy Siegel, professor of Wharton School of Business and acclaimed investor, told News This Morning, he said, this 2 to 4% interest rate makes no sense. It could potentially be 20% inflationary rate this year. This is absolute nirvana for you. Let me explain why. First, they raise your benefits up to a new number. Let's say the inflationary rate is 20%. Then they would raise you an additional 20% on top of that. And guess what happens next year? You never step down. What happens the year after that? You never step down. So once you get raised 20%, you're never going to get raised down again. That will be your number. And at worst, you'll stay the same. And at best, you could still go up every year. Another 4%, another 3%. It's incredible great news. That's what a benchmark is. It is absolutely incredible. So as inflation goes up, and if inflation does go up 20% this year, your benefits would already have risen and would get an additional 20% on top of that. Absolutely incredible. Then the asset cap would be removed. It dates back to a 1980s law that says you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand, going away. Removing the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you cannot work and stay on benefits, going away. So if you want to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, you can stay on benefits. And then love wins. Love conquers. The marriage penalty is going away. So if you're married and have suffered from the marriage penalty, I'm sorry, it's going away. And if you haven't married the love of your life because of the marriage penalty, love is now going to win. The marriage penalty is going to go away. So when would this impact? When would this start? This is a two-step, 2-month process starting the month of September and would be done around November in your bank account. And that's your 5th stimulus check update of 2021. September, out the door in November. Let's go back now to 4th stimulus. And why 4th stimulus really gets an unusual twist today based upon the CDC's lifting of its mask mandate. What's important to understand is that when considering a vote of the viewers between House and Senate, if you're live in the live chat, vote House or Senate based upon what's going on with lifting the mask mandate. This is a major game changer. Initially, we thought, okay, maybe we're going to get 4 more months of this pandemic, maybe 5 more months of this pandemic. That would mean 16 checks for the senators, from the House members, 17 months of checks. Well, guess what? Now, with the mask mandate being lifted, what are we facing? We don't know. It could potentially just be 1 more month of the pandemic. That means that there would be 13 months of stimulus checks. 13 months of stimulus checks from the House is $14,000, but it takes 13 months to get $14,000. The Senate plan, instead of having you wait 14 months, has you wait 6 months to potentially get $12,000. So suddenly you see not only is the Senate plan faster cash infusion, it now may ultimately come in very close to what the House plan is paid overall time, but we're giving you the same amount of money in just 50% of the time of the House plan. During this recording, you've seen the latest 4th stimulus check update of 2021. You learned how much money is at stake. You understood the process of how it goes. You also understood the 5th stimulus package. They're both 2-step, 2-bill, 2-month processes. One starts now and ends in July. Another one starts in September, ends in November. You also learned about the big money that's available for you. Starting today, some is donut money that automatically comes to you, but some of it is tough love. So important. With a deadline just 1 business day away, Monday, I don't want you to play games with this. If you think you have to do certain things, do them. If you're watching this video as it premieres and as an instant premiere, watch it then again. Go back and get a pen and paper. Write down notes. Get those notes ready to bring to the tax preparer. I need to request that missing check from my son. And then fix my daughter. She never has appeared on my tax return. I need to make sure she's listed. And then I have to request that money back from my unemployment from the federal government. And this and that and those. You need to tell all those things to the tax preparer and get that tax return on file Because if you don't, you're not getting the money. That's how we do it. Tough love, donuts, and getting you up informed and across the board. What should we expect next week? Next week, we're going to see a lot of questions about where inflation's going. And with Jeremy Siegel saying that 20% is a very big possibility for inflation over the remainder of 2021, we will see if that holds up. If it does, it means your benefits under the fifth stimulus package absolutely go through the roof. And with that, that is Afternoons LA, your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video, and I'm back with you in 2 hours from now with Evenings LA, followed by Crypto Tonight, and then a hysterical throwback video from Halloween. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link's on the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.